Welcome to another episode of the Iced Tea Podcast. Today I'm talking to huge Caniac. You know her. You love her. Sue, the sign lady. She's mentioning to you fans how to up your game day experience. She's even telling us what her experience was like flying on the plane with the team. And she brings in some of her favorite signs and tells us the story behind each one. Iced Tea is a production of Mix 101.5 and presented by Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, where every patient is treated like family. Sue, huge Caniac, Sue the sign lady, as we know and love you by. Thank you so much for joining me on the Iced Tea Podcast today.
Well, thanks for having me.
So we are drinking unsweet tea today. When I texted you and I asked if you wanted sweet or unsweet, you very quickly said unsweet. And I knew immediately you weren't from the South. And I was like, okay, girl, because I'm with you. Sweet tea is just
too sweet.
A little too sweet. So we'll go unsweet today. But I always start off by asking people, and this is from the fans' perspective, what does your game day look like? Like a home game day, you are a season ticket member. How do you prep for the game?
Well, it depends on the weather because we love to have a tailgate. We have a certain area that is ours, and it's Cat 5 tailgaters, and we have this entire group. We don't do it when it's this cold.
Of course.
But first night, we always have to tailgate.
Yeah.
During the season, it gets kind of tough because some of the people still work.
Mm-hmm.
And so getting them to get there in time is hard.
Yeah.
Because I have to be in the arena in time for warm-ups.
Right.
And not everybody else needs to be in there as early as I do.
Exactly.
So we have to plan accordingly.
And the reason why you have to be in there for warm-ups, because how everyone knows and loves you is your unique signs. Like we show you on the Jumbotron every pregame, and you come equipped with literally a different sign, a different poster to every game. We'll get more into that, but that is something that I wish I had more time to do. I'm in the arena very early too, and I feel like the tailgates are so fun, and everyone's always inviting Jatovi and I over, but we just, so what do you make? Because I feel like you're a good cook. What is your tailgate staple?
We don't do just burgers and hot dogs usually.
I would expect nothing less, Sue. I know that you go ham. What do you guys do?
We do tenderloin sandwiches. We do breakfast tacos. We do...
oh my God.
Yeah, we do.
It's like a whole buffet out there. We had Chef Sean on in the podcast, but I'm thinking maybe you and Chef Sean should get together and the guys should eat at your tailgate before they get out there on the ice.
We have everything from appetizers to desserts. Oh my God. And, and one of the tailgates I had, I put 3 Oreo cookies in a bag for a hat trick that they could have at the end. And there were like these hockey sticks you have in the glasses here.
Yeah.
I had some with erasers on the end, and they could take those when they left. And people just tend to drop by. We started with a small group.
Yeah.
And now it's 20 plus. And people just walk by, wave. And I say, we got plenty of food because I'm one of those that has to have more.
Oh, yeah.
I would hate to run out of anything.
Oh,
and so people can take leftovers home, and that's fine, but I'm not going to be the one that runs out.
And that's why I love you, because I was just saying before we sat down, I feel like I know you, but I don't know you super well, but you just have this energy. You are everyone's mom. Like, I know if I'm at the arena and actually, that did happen. That did happen a few games ago. And again, we're going to talk about this in more detail a little later, but you sounded the siren and I had a little tickle in my throat, a little tickle. And you saw my show and you immediately came up and gave me a cough drop. And I was like, we know we can count on you. And plus you're always, you never forget about the people behind the scenes, which is very much everyone operating the in-game, and very frequently you provide us with cookies and goodies. You never forget about us, and we love that about you.
You put everything together. I mean, we wouldn't have broadcasts if it wasn't for the people behind the scenes. And I haven't met all of the people behind the scenes, but even at the last game, somebody came up to me. He was walking and he said, "Thank you for the treats, and I watch for your signs every night. It just gives me joy to watch,
Yes.
to see what you're going to have."
Yes.
And it makes me feel so good.
Oh my gosh.
It's just taken off. But
it really has. You were even saying when you walk the concourse, you're recognized. I mean, you are a celebrity. People want pictures with you, and I would expect nothing less.
It cracks me up. I think it's funny. I was in our Harris Teeter, and we live in Clayton, and there was a older gentleman, and he was wearing a Canes hat. So, of course, I said, "Go Canes."
Yeah.
And then we started talking. He said, "Wait, I know you." And
The sign
he
lady.
recognized me as the sign lady.
Okay, let's dive into the signs, because for people that maybe are newer fans or they haven't gone to a game, they're like, okay, what are these signs? I know you brought some, they're right next to you, but how did these signs start? How did making the signs and the fact that you make a different sign pretty much each game, that's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, but it's so much fun. Sometimes the signs have something to do with the team we're playing.
Mm-hmm.
Other times it's because of a holiday, and some it's just comes to me. And I say, okay, it doesn't have to do with the team we're playing, but this would be funny.
Oh my God. How long does it take you to make a sign? Can you pull out one of the,
Now, this is from the very beginning.
Uh-huh.
I used to have to use stick-on vinyl letters.
yes.
And then I would run out of vowels. And they don't sell just the vowels. So I've got thousands of these stick-on letters. And
So they're reusable. So you can peel off.
no.
Oh, no.
Once they're on, they're on.
Okay.
But, I had different sizes of all the different letters. And depending on the sign, I would use one, and I'd get halfway through, and there wouldn't be a vowel for what I needed.
The dang vowels.
Yeah,
The dang vowels.
I'd have to start over again.
Where's Vanna White when you need her? We
That's
got to buy a
right.
vowel. Dang it. Oh my gosh.
And 2 years ago, this Cricut machine came out.
Yes, the cricket.
And Mike got it for me for Christmas. And Mike is the one that is actually using it to make the signs. So I come up with the ideas, or he helps me with ideas, but he actually uses the Cricut.
So you come up with the idea. Mike, your husband, is helping you with the signs. How long, how early do you start the sign making? Is it day of game?
Oh, no, it's got to be a couple days before.
A couple days before. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a process. There's the thought. You got to make the sign, bring the sign.
Right.
Oh, my gosh.
Some can be day of if we're busy doing other things, but then it's got to be a sign that's not quite so involved.
That's right. That's right.
And take that much time.
That's right.
Yeah.
I know. I remember I ran into you in the parking lot after one of the games, and you were talking to me about the time that goes into these signs. And listen, but it pays off because we all love it,
Well,
and it
thank
brings
you.
joy to so many of us in the arena.
Well, I love doing it, and I look around me to see if there are little kids there, and then I say, "Do you want to get on the Jumbotron?" And so I have them stand next to me, and then they get so excited that they can see themselves.
I bet that makes that's a
Oh,
core
yeah.
memory that you are helping them with. Oh,
It is. It's so much fun to see the joy in kids' faces.
yes.
When something like that happens, they don't expect it.
Oh
And
my God. So you are not from this area originally. So where did your love affair for the Carolina Hurricanes begin?
we moved to Wilson in '84,
Okay.
and there was no football. We were used to Green Bay Packers
Because you're from
football
Wisconsin,
and
yes.
from Wisconsin, and there was hockey, and we thought, here we go. And we went to Greensboro and saw ice caps.
Yes.
And then we started coming to the Canes games. And we couldn't come as often as we wanted to because of our jobs. But we just fell in love with the Canes.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been coming for 20 years.
So what year did you become a season ticket member?
We had partial season
Partial season.
for a while. And our oldest son, Curtis, who lives in Wilmington,
Uh-huh.
would meet us for games. So we started in the 300s
You've
And
just
and we've moved
slowly
down.
moved down.
Once there was that lockout, he decided he didn't want to drive.
Yes.
And he was coming by himself. And we loved it because we got to see him more often. But after the lockout, he said, I'm done.
Yeah.
And we said, okay, we have money to put into better tickets, better seats. And we looked around, and we're in the 100s now, and we just love it.
Iced Tea is presented by Lane & Associates Family Dentistry. When you walk into a Lane office, it is warm, it is welcoming, it is stress-free, and it's an environment for the whole family. So visit lanedds.com to find a location near you. Each level has its own personality, and I love experiencing the different levels. What is the different comparisons to the 100s? And were you ever in the 200s?
We did for a few games. The 300s were true fans.
The 300s are.
They really are.
That is the wild area.
It is. And for the 06 championship, we were so high up that the confetti came out right above us.
That's what I was about to ask you. Because you said you've had season tickets for 20 years. Were you there for the 2006 Stanley Cup
06,
win?
Yeah.
My gosh.
And the confetti, it was right over our head. And we were in the 300s. But there are true fans in the 300s.
Yes.
And then we found this section, and there was some people we knew, and we thought, oh, this is perfect. And it is. We've got friends around us, and they're cheering for the Canes. They're not talking about who's doing what at work, and
you can be there to enjoy the game.
You can be there and enjoy the game.
I'm so glad you found that area because, yes, to your point, the 300s, it's where it's at. I love going up there. It's like I take the escalator up and I'm like, okay, we're here to party.
It is. It's a different environment, and those fans know each player. They know who's having a baby this year.
Yes.
They know everything.
Yes.
And it was a great time to be up in the 300s.
Talk to me about that 2006 win and the confetti. Like, what was the energy? I can only imagine.
It was insane is the only word I can come up with. Nobody sat the entire game, only during intermissions. And we were on our feet the entire game. Oh my God. And I still get chills.
I'm literally getting chills as you're talking about it too.
Yeah. And it was amazing to see the Canes win it and come out, and Brind'Amour holding that trophy above his head, and all the other players one by one, and see the true joy in their faces. And Mike and I actually, the Christmas after the win, got each other a Christmas present. And I got him a piece of the carpet, the red carpet, and he got me one with a piece of the net. And it says 2006 Stanley
That's when
Cup
you know
champion.
it's a match made in heaven.
That's
when
right.
you guys basically get each other a similar gift.
That's
and,
right.
and it's so meaningful.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So.
What an experience. I can only hope. Obviously we're superstitious, but I can only hope that one day I get to experience the same thing.
I hope so.
Because I wasn't living here then. And I honestly, my love for the Canes didn't even start until 5 years ago when I moved here. It's very similar, finding your team, finding your home base, finding your love. And that is wonderful. That is wild.
Well, I hope you get to experience it this year.
Me too. And
then they have opportunities for you to touch the cup. Oh my gosh. And that is just such a great experience.
I can only imagine. Are you superstitious at all? Are there, other than the sign, is there something you have to do every game?
I have to wear my special shoes.
I was just checking out your shoes. These are amazing. They literally say the sign lady on your shoes. And so where did you get these?
NHL.com.
Oh my God.
But then you could say what you wanted to on them.
Mm-hmm.
And so, of course, I had to go with sign lady.
Of course.
So I have to wear my cane socks, my cane shoes, and always a jersey of one kind or another. It's they have red or black days. And
do you wear the same color that the team is wearing?
Yes.
Got it. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's a true fan right
there.
there.
That. And
see what sweater they're wearing. Is it black? Is it red
right.
tonight? Yes.
And I have more jerseys than I have normal clothes. So,
Well, okay. So speaking of jerseys, and I'm looking, and you have every signature
yeah.
possible on there. But I've been looking at your Facebook. A lot of people think I talk to the players, meet the players. I don't. You, though, on the other hand, have literally met every player. Talk to me about some of your favorite memories and what player it was, or the stories that you have with meeting the players.
Well, going to the gala or the Canes Bash,
yes,
as it used to be known, we bought some awesome things. And for like 4 years in a row, we bought dinner with the Cane at Nina's restaurant. And Nina is the unofficial mom to all the Canes. She calls them her boys.
Oh, my gosh.
And
they go there for dinner frequently?
Yeah.
Is it Italian?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'll need to go to Nina's.
You need to go to Nina's. And on a Sunday, when the restaurant was closed, Nina would offer from appetizer to dessert with 4 players. And sometimes it was the captain. Sometimes it was the Olympians. Sometimes it was just different people at each time. So we got to know some of the Canes through that. Cam Ward was there. Jeff Skinner, before he could even have alcohol. He was so young when he was with us.
Yes.
And, every course is served with alcohol.
That's like Jackson Blake now, you know. When I'm like, oh, man, he's just a baby.
Yeah. And, Tim Gleason and both of the Staals. And they brought their medals from the Olympics. And we got to hold them and wear them and take pictures with them. And those things are heavier than you'd expect.
I believe it. Yes.
But we've also gotten the dinners with Just Fetch, or not too long ago.
Just Fetch. Oh, just Andre Fetch. We just hang out on a random Sunday.
This last one was Fetch and Jarvie. So they were funny.
What a pair.
Oh, yeah.
What do you even talk about at these dinners?
Everything. And one of the things I asked them was, do you call each other by your names?
Yeah.
And they said, no. That's Fetch. And that's Jarvie. I don't think I've ever called him by his real name.
That's funny.
So, but everything comes up.
Yeah.
And the guys are just so giving of their time. They donate golfing. They donate the trolley ride. Mm-hmm. We get to do that with Jarvie and I don't know who sometime this coming year.
Okay.
And when you meet them at these events like the gala, they are just anybody you'd meet on the street. They don't have these airs about them. They're not feeling like they're better than you. And they'll take pictures. They'll do whatever. And I don't get that feeling from other teams.
Right. Yes.
But our team is really special.
And even after the game, a lot of times you go downstairs and you get pictures with them. Are they getting to the point where they've seen you many times now where they're like, Sue, hey, Sue?
Well, it was funny because we went on the Canadian tour at the beginning of the season.
Yes.
And we asked Jordan Martinook, who is the foodie of the team, where to eat in Calgary and where to eat in the other places. And he was right. I mean, the places he gave us were awesome. So when we just met him a few weeks ago, the first thing he said was, how were my recommendations? So
that's so awesome.
Yeah, and we said, we're going to go to Ottawa and Montreal at the end of the season.
Okay.
Where should we go? He said, I can't think of the name for the Montreal one, but I'll get back to you.
Good.
So
that is so fun.
So it's funny because, we do know quite a few, and especially some of the older ones like Cam Ward, and that group was just remarkable. I mean, these guys are too. I'm not saying they're not remarkable, but we met them more.
Of course, yes.
So it's just been fun to get to know them on and off the ice and just watching them.
For fans watching this, like you said, you have been going to games for over 20 years. You're a season ticket member. Are there tips and tricks for fans, like a certain time to arrive, things that maybe a first timer would need to know to navigate the arena?
Well, I tell everybody to get there early.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones who are going there for the first time should be against the glass for them to come out at warm-ups.
Yes. How do you get down to the glass?
As soon as the doors open, you can walk down there. You don't have to have a special ticket to get there. You just have to leave after
in time,
warm-ups and go to your seat. And, if you have a sign, put it up. They'll show you.
Yeah.
And it's so cute with the signs the kids come up with.
They are adorable, yes.
Yeah. One said the other day, "I'll trade my sister for a puck." And I thought that was pretty good.
That's cute. That is so cute.
I don't know how the sister felt.
That's right. She's like, okay, didn't know you were making that sign. Okay, so down on the glass for warm-ups. I've been seeing a lot of people getting the ice cream lately, too, from Two Roosters. And I'm like,
I don't know how they do that because I stay cold.
It's freezing. I don't know how they're doing it either, but honestly, it looks really good. And I'm like up there doing my show and I'm like, do you want to get some ice cream? I think I deserve it. I just,
It looks really good.
It does look good.
At times the arena is colder than others and I don't know why.
There are nights where it is colder than others.
Yesterday it was extremely cold.
Freezing. I know. I was holding the mic and I felt like my hands were like an icicle.
Yeah. I even wore my winter coat during the game and I
normally don't do that. Yeah.
But I have heated gloves and a heated scarf just in case.
So bundle, you can always,
take it off.
Delayer. And also you, a few games ago, sounded the siren, which is such a goal for so many people. I mean, it would be a dream if I would be nervous, but if I got to sound the siren. I know you had done it previously before that, but do you get nervous to sound the siren? No.
I did it during COVID. So I was wearing a mask. There were like 1,000 people in the arena when I did it the first time. So my name was on the Jumbotron, but nobody could see
you were
me.
like, this is my practice run. No one's here.
So when they came and chose me, I said, "Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, I'd love to do it." And I just enjoy every part of the experience around the Canes.
Mm-hmm.
Anything I can get to do just makes it more special to me.
Yes. Yeah.
I just love this team.
They're such a great team. I love it too.
And the people behind it too, like you and the crew and everybody else that makes it happen.
You're so sweet, Sue. Thank you so much. And we love fans like you. I mean, it's all of us together. It's such an experience. So I know you're a huge Caniac. We know, from dressed head to toe in the arena how you are. I can only imagine what your home looks like.
Well, I have a lot of Canes things, but being from Wisconsin, we were originally and still are Green Bay Packer fans. So one room has all things Packers, autographed helmets and things like that. And the other part of the game room is all Canes. Now we have autographed sticks and pucks and gloves, Aho skates signed. And the thing I told you about that Mike and I got each other from the 06 championship. We've got the banner from the outdoor game hanging up. We've got, I've got Cam Ward signed a jersey that says "To Sue" and.
So all these signed things, are they literally you were there and they signed them, or did some of them you bought online? No, they all were signed in the flesh.
There was one that Justin Williams, I got his All-Star jersey, bought it from an auction.
Mm-hmm.
And a few of the jerseys that I wear, I've gotten off the backs of players, which has been great. So
was it great or did it smell a little funk?
Oh, yeah. You held it out by your fingertips because they were soaking wet. And,
But of course you can't wash it. Did you wash it, Sue?
If you,
Sue, you washed it.
You can if you're careful with it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Like a few years ago, I got KK's. And now KK is tall.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 5'2". Now he's on skates, which makes him even taller. So I'm standing next to him, and they're taking pictures. And on Facebook, I see a person write in, "Who was that tiny lady standing next to KK?"
So you got his jersey after?
Yeah.
Was it like to your ankles?
Yeah, and I wear it to the games. And I got Orlov's jersey. I have Jordan Staal's jersey. I have a Tavo jersey.
I miss him. I miss Turbo.
Oh, I do too. And I had a Ronta one, but I framed that one.
Uh-huh.
And one of the most special ones I have that's framed is I'm a cancer survivor. And when they did names on jerseys that year, and I can't remember which year it was, Necas had my name on his jersey with a lot of the other people who went through cancer. And when I saw him at an event, he signed it for me. And then he took the time, he said, "And how are you doing?" Now, to me, that meant everything.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't just sign my jersey. He wanted to know how I was feeling, and that meant so much to me.
Oh, my gosh.
And at events afterwards, he would say the same thing. And you can't put a price on that, for them to care about you as a person, not just signing something. Yeah. And like Svetch, after we had this dinner, I have one jersey that has some of my favorite signs on it that, Chris and Adam Scott, he made something for you.
Yes.
And that's Scott Creations. And
it's so good. We love Scott Creations. Yeah. Very talented.
And so I picked out some of my favorite signs, and he put them on a jersey. And I took that jersey to the dinner, and Svetch took it to get everybody to sign it for me.
These guys, they have hearts. Not that we didn't think that they did, but they really are wonderful. But so are you. So are you. And you deserve the best. Oh, my gosh. That's very sweet.
But the guys are amazing.
Do you have a favorite theme night? I mean, I'm sure with Hockey Fights Cancer, that is extra special for you. Are there other theme nights that you love?
Star Wars night is always fun.
Yeah.
And try and come up with a
fun sign
for that. But I like all the theme nights. It just brings something else to the game, and you see people dressed up or whatever, and it's nice that they let the team do it. I hate that they took away wearing the jerseys.
I know.
Because the team used to come out and wear the jersey theme night and everything. And the only time they did it this year was for Eric Staal.
That's right.
And that was such a fun event.
I saw ESPN used a photo of Necas, but they took the photo of him wearing the number 12C, and everyone was like, "Wait, is this AI? Is this photo?" And we were like, "Oh, no, that was from the jersey retirement ceremony," which why they chose that photo, I don't know, but it was a little confusing. Okay, you brought some of your favorite signs.
I did.
Let's take a look at them. I love these, and I can help hold some too.
Well, I showed you the first one. This is when I used to have to do stick-on letters.
Yes. When we will.
And that was a Star Wars one, so it's Yoda saying how Yoda
would say it. Yes.
Yoda would say it. And then I have this one that you've got this one in the bag, and when coming out of the bag, and I happened to meet Drury after the game. And
how is he? I feel like he's just lovely.
Such a sweet guy.
Yeah.
And so was Jackson Blake. We met him too. I mean,
so
they were just so nice. And he saw the sign. He said, "I really like that." And I said, "I do a different one for every game." He said, "Are you kidding?" And I said, "No." And I said, "Look at this." And I said, I pointed to my shoes. And he said, "That's really great.
That's awesome." Oh, I love that. That's super creative with the bag.
And this one, I spend more money on hockey sweaters than on shoes.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I do.
But we love that.
I would rather have a hockey sweater than any kind of shoe.
Oh, yeah. And you've already got the shoes nailed
That's
down.
right.
We only
I
need those
got
shoes.
that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
And then this was for Thanksgiving. Thankful for Canes hockey, and used hockey sticks as the turkey's feathers.
That is so creative. Okay, but you also have to be pretty artsy to do this.
Well,
or are these like
these?
Okay.
I printed these off of the computer,
Mm-hmm.
and we had to have them facing 2 different ways.
That's right, because you needed the feathers going this way and that way.
Right.
Yep.
So this came off of the computer, which Mike did.
Do you go through a lot of ink on your computer?
Yeah.
Yeah. You should expense that.
It's worth it.
The Canes should pay for your...
I think they should at least have my picture up somewhere. And
I agree. We'll get working on that.
yeah, we can work on that. And this one, this is my happy place.
Oh, that is so cute. It's very
Because
much a
it
happy
is.
place.
It is.
Mhm. Yeah.
There's nothing like that. And then a friend of mine, Lauren Varner, who lives in Albemarle, where we used to live,
Yeah.
said, Mike never smiles when he takes your picture. He just sits there and takes it when I show up on the Jumbotron so I can post it. She said, this is the sign you should have. And for Mike, it says, I'm just here to take her photo. Let's go, Canes.
I feel like so many of us with our significant others need this photo because they need to be ready with the camera to take the picture in the moment. I say the same thing to my boyfriend. I'm like, did you video me this today on the Jumbotron? And he's like, yes, babe, I got it. It's so true. I'm just here to take her photo.
So he's there, but she came up with the idea, and that was so perfect. He held it, and we're going to have that with him again.
Yes.
Because
or he could just make a T-shirt. Oh,
there you go.
Have a T-shirt with it on.
Gee, I know somebody who could do that.
Yeah, right. All right. Okay, let's get into a segment that I like to call Spill the Tea. Just kind of rapid fire questions, whatever comes to your mind. Okay, so I know your hubby is in the other room. He's not listening right now, but I know you've already had dinner with a lot of the players. But if you could have dinner with any of the players or a player that you haven't had dinner with yet, who would it be?
Ooh, that's a good question. Martinook.
Oh, because he's a foodie too.
He's a foodie.
And he just seems like he's always just chipper and high energy.
And he's emceed events that I've been to. Justin Williams and his wife are involved in Doorway to Hope.
Okay, yeah.
It's a organization that raises money for people in need and gives them like a one-up type of thing. And since Justin's wife was involved, a lot of the Canes got involved. And Tripp and Martinook were the MCs during the events.
Talk about a trip. I bet that was hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Tripp is amazing.
Yeah.
I just adore him.
He's great. He's so great. Oh, my gosh. Okay, that is a good answer. I like that. Because I know you do love to cook. You do love to host. If you could cook one meal for the team, what would it be?
Beef tenderloin.
Oh.
Mike is the expert at that.
It can be a combined effort.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'll do the sides and he'll do the main dish.
I'm a sides girl. What are your go-to sides?
Oh, I have this awesome veggie casserole and this cornbread casserole that I love to do, and desserts too.
Yeah. Dessert. What's your favorite dessert?
Either sour cream apple pie, which is really good.
That sounds so good.
Well, I'll make you one.
So you do. Sue, I would love that. I would love that. And I would crush it. I would eat the whole dang thing. I wouldn't share with anybody.
Just take a spoon during the game. Yes. You don't have to cut it in pieces. Just scoop it out.
That'll be my last hit. I'll be like, let's go, Canes. I'm like, thanks, Sue. And I'm just crushing it. That's so good.
There you go.
You are so sweet. Okay. Now, I know you've had the opportunity to ask players questions, but is there one player that you would love to ask something, a certain question, and you haven't had the opportunity yet because you haven't met them?
Probably Aho.
Okay.
And, how his wedding was, and now he's having a baby, and how does that affect him being here?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And playing. I'm not even sure if she's here or if she's in Finland.
Yeah, I don't
know that part of their. I don't stalk these guys like some people do, and they know the wives' names, and they know.
Yeah.
Now, I know a few because I've met the wives.
Yes.
Like Jacob Slavin and his wife,
yeah,
Kylie.
Kylie,
I've met, but I don't know if they're here or if they're somewhere else.
And also, too, I think a lot of it is on, like, if they see it on social media, if the wife happens to be here or whatever. But I agree. And it's so, I look at Aho, and to be honest with you, I don't even know how old he is, but I feel like for me, he still gives me baby vibes. And so the fact that we've seen him grow up before our eyes, and that he was just here as, as a youngin', and now he's married and he's having a baby, and all of this is so under the radar, to your point. He's doesn't really share a lot of that part of his life. And
except for Father Finn, most Finnish players aren't that open.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
That's their culture. They're kind of laid back. But Auntie was the Finn who wouldn't stop talking.
And we love him for that.
Yeah.
I forget. It might have been my interview with Mike Maniscalco, because I asked him something about who's the funniest on the team. And I believe somebody said Aho. And I was like, really? Or one of the funniest. And I'm like, really? Aho? But I think underneath it all, our boy's got a sense of humor.
Yeah. I wouldn't have known that.
I wouldn't have known it either. But that is a good question. I would love to know more about that too, because they just seem like the sweetest together, and he is going to be such a good dad. And this is going to be a hard one.
Okay.
The last question: who is your favorite Canes player of all time? I know it's hard, Sue. I know it's hard. You love them all, but
I do love them all. Probably Cam.
Yeah.
Although I saw Brett Henneken at the thing for Eric Staal.
Uh-huh.
And at the time, he was signing. I had the jersey on I wore in 02 and 06. And I said, will you just look and see if you've signed this already?
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, you were my favorite player then. And he said, really?
Mm-hmm.
Like he never expected anybody to follow him.
Yeah.
Or think that he was in the top 10.
Oh.
And so I think it made both of us feel good that, I could say that to him.
Why Brett?
He just had that everyman personality, just a normal working guy.
Yeah.
Always a smile on his face. When you met him, it was just like you were the only one in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And, plus he married Christy Yamaguchi, which put him a step up.
Oh my gosh, I love that. And I love their story. They met at the Olympics, right?
Yeah. So
oh my gosh.
I said, okay, he moved a step up because I loved watching her.
I would love to get Brett on the podcast. And if we could get Christy Yamaguchi on the Steak podcast, my life would be complete. I'd be like, done. We're done. Oh my gosh. Do they live in Raleigh or do they move?
I don't have a
I'm asking Sue. I'm like, Sue, tell me, where do they live? Let me make this happen.
You have to ask Tripp. He probably knows.
That's right. That's fair. And then, and you did mention Cam as well, and you've been able to meet him a couple times, and he just, the love for him too.
Right. And Eric Cole and Tripp had a podcast that I was lucky enough to do, and it was at Justin Williams' house.
Uh-huh.
And Eric Cole showed up, and
you've got the in, though. You were like in it. You were basically on the team. So I'm surprised you're not getting on the private jet and like flying with them,
I did that once.
Now she tells me, Sue, you got on the plane with these guys, their chartered flight?
Yes, we bought it at one of the auctions. And
tell me all about that. And what year was this?
Oh, it was quite a long time ago.
So it was like not a lot of the current guys.
No, but we bought it at the auction.
Uh-huh.
And it was Toronto.
Okay.
Was the city that we were going to.
Uh-huh.
And it was in winter. And they gave us dinner. They gave us tickets to go to the Hall of Fame. And we had dinner with Tripp and Mike and previous broadcasters and things like that, and got to go to the game. And
what was flying on the plane like with the guys? Like,
well, it was different than we thought it would be.
Yeah.
We were like at the front, and they were at
and they
the
sit in a
back.
certain section. Yeah,
So-
Mike was telling me that they kind of, the players enter and go one way, and then everyone else kind of goes the other way. But
So
still,
there wasn't any interaction.
Sure. But was it a nice plane? Like,
yeah.
it was very different than flying coach. I'm
yes,
sure.
it was.
Oh yeah.
And Ron Francis was with us at the time, and
Okay.
he came around and thanked us for going to the game and everything, and it was an experience. I brought a jersey with and asked somebody, and I can't remember who, if I can go get the Canes to sign it, and he said, "Well, let me take it back." So the guys were in their mode, and so we didn't have interaction with them, but I got a jersey signed. I was happy.
That's incredible. Now that I'm thinking of it, and have you met Coach Rod Brind'Amour?
Yeah.
Okay. What's his demeanor like when you meet him? Like, not in coaching mode.
He is so funny because he can't stand still. He just has to be moving. If you see the clips in the locker room,
Yeah, he's pacing.
He's just back and forth and all this. And I saw him after the game when we got to meet Drury and Blake and Martinook, and I said, "Hey, the Canes are looking great." He said, "No, they aren't." And I said, "Well, they played great tonight," because they did. I can't remember who we played, but we won. And
I saw that you got the inside scoop. He's like, "No, we're not.
No, we're not." No. He sees the game so differently
Yes.
than we do.
Sure.
And, like yesterday's game, they did not play well in the first.
No, they didn't.
And there were two people behind me, and it was their first game this season. And I said, "Don't worry. Second period's going to be a lot different.
Yeah.
There are a few choice words being said, and they're going
Rod's
to come
turning
out."
it around, yeah.
And they looked and they said, "Holy cow, I can't believe it." Yeah. So.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
But he's just in a different mode mentally than the
Always.
rest of us.
Yes.
He just sees things that we don't see.
Yep.
And it's just funny to hear it from his perspective,
Definitely.
because it's not what I see.
Definitely. That's amazing. And I feel like on that note, this has just been an absolute pleasure. I learned so much from you. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being the mama bear, really, to every Caniac, even the play. Like, you are just such a warm hug. Like, if I were to describe you to somebody, you are a warm hug.
Oh,
and
that's
we
so sweet.
really
Thank
appreciate you. And thank you so much for joining me today.
Well, thank you for inviting me, and I love you.
I love
and
you
do
too,
a
Sue.
great job.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, so sweet.
I always look forward to listening to you up on the
Thank you.
Jumbotron and
Thank
seeing what
you.
you come up with.
I always say to people, I'm background noise, because I'm going when everyone's getting their beers. But as long as Sue is listening, that's all
I'm
that
listening
matters
to you.
to me.
I don't
Thank
get out
you.
of my seat.
Thank you. You're the best. Well, cheers. I know we didn't take
Cheers.
a dang sip out of this, but thank you,
I'm
Sue.
ready now.
Yes, exactly. Feel free. Let's chug it down. Thanks so much for checking out this episode. And also thank you to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry for being our presenting sponsor. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share with someone you know and love.